And you thought there was no stream today. And you know what? That's because I said there was no stream today. But I forgot a very important point. Week 4 got skipped because of scheduling issues, and Week 4 was rescheduled to today and tomorrow. So guess what? We've got GKR today and tomorrow. Today's lineup: Higher Gaming versus Nightcrow. We were supposed to have 40K versus French SWAT, but French SWAT currently 0-6. Didn't even show up. So 40K, free win. Nightcrow going to try to see if they can push Higher Gaming out of playoff contention and compete with 40K for that top spot. And then tomorrow, another tight one. Add MINCHIAM against SK CALALAS. And then Cold Bear ESPORT versus Electro Dragon. Electro Dragon would love to make it into those top 4 spots. That's all happening here today and tomorrow. The standings going into today have Nightcrow and 40K top of the table. Keep in mind, though, 40K currently number 1 because French SWAT didn't show up today. So here we are with our only match on the day. Once again, another one-match day, folks, which has been happening quite a bit in this competition. Someone's asking, what's the music playing right now? This is from... what's the music service that I use? I use Epidemic Sounds. I can't remember what song this is, but it's from Epidemic Sounds. Here we go. Higher Gaming, Kodigo, Keef, and Mini up against Eason, Higher, and Kisara of Nightcrow. Nightcrow trying to stay in the mix. Higher Gaming trying to do the same. Nightcrow doesn't need the win to stay in playoffs. Higher Gaming, ooh, a loss here opens the door for Team Electro Dragon to step through, and Team Electro Dragon is playing against the already eliminated Cold Bear ESPORT. Although, if Higher Gaming loses, could Cold Bear ESPORT technically be in the mix? All that and more when we kick off. Here in just moments. Hi, everybody. How are you? Hope you're excited for what's probably going to be about 30 to 40 minutes of Clash Royale. And then we'll get on with our days. But for a little while, we'll hang out together. We'll see people play stuff. We'll learn more about where the competitive meta is going. And we'll talk, you and I, while great Clash Royale happens. And then again, of course, tomorrow, for those of you who are like, where's Mo? Well, there he is, tomorrow. Mañana. Mañana. Mañana is good enough for Mo. Today's plan, I see Alex asking if you have a plan for today. Yes, we do. Today's plan, Higher Gaming versus Nightcrow. The 40K versus French SWAT match will not happen because 40K did not show up. There you go. By the way, if you are buying stuff in the shop, like the Pass Royale to get your cool Evo night, use code RICH. Why not? Yeah, right there. Let's do it one more time. Code RICH. Use code RICH. Use that for the Supercell shop. You support me a little bit. Don't blame 40K not showing up. Well, 40K didn't show up yesterday, and then did show up today, and their opponent didn't show up. But 40K did not show up yesterday, right? Was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago? When was 40K supposed to be here and they didn't show up? It was recent. Let's see. Double checking. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, 40K did not send their lineup yesterday. So there you go. Goku asking, how am I? I'm well. Just looking forward to this match when it kicks off here in just a moment. The new shades look nice. These are actually have been in my collection for quite a long time. I wouldn't call them new, but I guess they're new today. But yeah, they've been in the mix for a minute from the 80s series release that Gooder did a while back. A nice release indeed. Well, we should be starting back. Did you ever get your code back for Gooder? I don't know, actually. I emailed them. I've not heard back yet. I sent them a follow-up email. So as soon as I know, you'll know. Let me see if they've actually responded to that email. Let me see. Have they responded to that email? No, I sent a follow-up. Well, there you go. Well, when I hear, you'll hear. Hopefully, we kick this thing off in a minute. Let's take a look at the lineups one more time. Kodigo versus Keef. Kodigo versus Eason. Keef versus Higher. And then, if necessary, Miniminter versus Kisara. Bans. Everyone banning Evo Barbs. RG fully banned. Mortar fully banned. Firecracker. Knight. Skellies. All in the mix. All of those will be available for your evolutionary needs. I'm messaging the Higher versus Higher Gaming. Mildly interesting. Yes, thank you, Smurfblade. I'm messaging league admins to say like, hey, what's up? Because, you know, what's up? Where's this at? Where's this at? Where's this competition that we're supposed to be watching? We will see. In mere moments. Hopefully. And if not, this will be a busted stream. Because this league has so much potential. Like, this league has so much potential. Right? Like, the format, the 3v3 BO1s are really I really enjoy them a lot. The bands, maybe the bands are too much, but like I enjoyed like the conceptually that there's some more band stuff going on. I like the format overall, right? 3v3 BO1 dual mode King of the Hill, right? It's a good format. This league has so much potential, but man, just maybe it's just because I don't know if it's the money is too low in the league or whatever, or that like teams don't have a guaranteed minimum to be in the league that requires them to show up and play. But the no-shows in this league are crazy bad. It's like it's kind of insane how many no-shows there are in this league. And it's not, I don't think it's the fault of the league the league seems like a good league, right? Like I've really enjoyed, this is my second season casting GKR. I've really enjoyed it. It's been good competition. It's fun to see different things. But, you know, there's no incentive for players to play once their team's eliminated from playoffs. So hopefully they can find a way to incentivize that and keep people dialed in. But we already have, like I said before, today our second match, 40K versus French SWAT, not happening because French SWAT not showing up. Which they did last season too. Felix Reyes saying everyone is playing GY. There's a lot of GY. Maybe someone's a no-show, potentially. Maybe, yeah, I feel like people are a different time zone. French SWAT is Europe, right? Have to play, like, this is pretty well timed for being in Europe. Hi, your sunglasses look good. Thank you very much. They often do. They're often pretty good. They say we're starting soon, but I don't know. What do you guys want to discuss while we wait here? Hi, Rich. Respect from Nightcrow. Excited to see y'all. Is Eva Night allowed? Yes, we saw it yesterday. We saw Evo Night yesterday. And it's fine. Like, just it's what the game is. You know what I mean? It's what the game is. Hey, Rich from Shanghai. Diego Kid from Shanghai. CRL 2020 World Finals was supposed to be in Shanghai. Would have been really cool. They even like still did the Chinese team still played from the stadium in Shanghai. Would have been really fun. I would have liked to see Shanghai because my only experience with China so far is Xi'an, and I was not impressed with Xi'an. I feel like Xi'an is like the Pittsburgh of China. It was just kind of like, it was a weird city. Was not into it. But like Shanghai would be super cool. Natesh saying hello. Hey, how are you? I'm doing all right, everybody. Just waiting for this competition to kick off. Hi, former Italy. Oh, well, thank you. Man, big international audience here today. Which city you go to China before? The only city I've been to in China is Xi'an, which I did not think was a great. I was not impressed by Xi'an. It was a really weird city. It was like weirdly empty all the time too. Guangzhou, is that Guangzhou? I don't know how you pronounce that. Chuck Norris, where have you been, Rich? Been boring without Cat. You casting case up for the teams the past few days. Yeah, I was in San Diego on the beach with my family for about a week, and I wasn't going to be casting for 4 hours a day from vacation on the beach. And then I'm not casting the Queso Cup team finals because I will be on a disc golf trip with some buddies for my friends' birthdays in Minnesota. We're going to go play 2 of the top courses in the world. 2 of the top courses in the U.S. for sure, but definitely also 2 of the top courses in the world, which I am really excited about. We are playing, let's see, what are the courses we're playing again? We're playing Blue Ribbon Pines, which is way, way up there. Some people say it's the best course in the world, but it's definitely way up on the list. Here we go. Hey, we got gameplay. Holy. Is Momo playing today? No, Momo's playing tomorrow. And we're playing the Preserve, and we're playing Blue Ribbon Pines on this trip. It'll be great. Here we go. All right. Kodigo versus Eason. Let's get it. And as you can see, Evo Night is allowed. You playing North Valley? No, we're only playing Blue Ribbon Pines and the Preserve, I believe. Because you can play more than one round, more than one course at each location, and we're talking about 2 of the top places in the world. Oh, that Loon not going to get there. Muskie. This is Loon versus Loon, I believe. I think that this Loon deck is very similar to the one that I saw Jules sharing in a group chat that I'm in. The one that Kodigo's running. Interesting Goblins placement there by Eason, thinking that Kodigo's going to get that fancy that early. I think you just got to wrap those around the back if you want to try to cover both sides. You don't play that to the inside like that. And here we go. Oh no, the one that Jules shared had Inferno Dragon in it. This is fun though. Very quick cycle. Lots of good coverage. I'm very curious to see how this shakes out. The Monk for 3-card cycles we get later in game will be very nice. But how impactful will that be? We also have not seen anything evolved played by Eason yet, which makes me feel like he's playing nothing with evolutions in this deck. And misses the Evo Knight. Wow, that's going to put him in a big elixir hole. Eason in a whole lot of trouble, taking huge damage and forced to overspend to correct from that glaring mistake. Sometimes, folks, you try to make a card do too much, and you saw that there with Eason, playing the Goblins high and just really trying to overcorrect and control, get the Knight to pull back and control the Musketeer all at the same time. You could have played those low. I guess maybe he's also trying to avoid the prediction from, Snowball or arrows, or avoid them being wiped out easily. Mostly avoid the prediction. But sometimes you're doing too much. That monk is real nice right now. Gets one reflection. Miner in, must be protected by the guards, and that's a great sequence defensively for Kodigo. He will get away with no shots. Death damage in 1558 to 2022. Now to 1782 after that death damage comes in. Playing the miner in that NATO spacing is interesting. Oh, let's see. Is the snowball there in time defensively? And it is. Still death damage in. And that's all Kodigo needs right now is to keep getting death damage. Keep getting death damage and eventually win the miner race. And that's a nice knight there, right? Because the knight's walking, and it's going to keep that damage really, really low. That's one of the interesting things about Evo Knight, right? Because I've been kind of critical of Evo Knight overall as not being interesting. But what I will say is thinking about placing the knight in ways where it's walking so that it gets that damage reduction against ranged or flying troops. And that's GG. Very nicely played. That's going to be really interesting, an interesting kind of change in the way you play knight. Is trying to make sure that knight is walking. I like it. There we go. Game 1 in the books. Kodigo takes down Eason. Game number 2, Keef versus Higher. 2 world finalists in previous seasons. Felix Reyes with luck. Let's go. Tan saying our captain, love your stream. Oh, thank you. I enjoy casting. I do wish that this overlay would show us that Kodigo has won over Eason. Even if it was just like making Eason's picture black and white, for example. Or putting a big red X over Eason. Something like that would be nice. Well, next game coming up here fairly soon. What do you guys think about Evo Knight? Is it cool? Is it boring? Is it super OP? Is it a little OP? I think it's less OP on release than Firecracker and RG were. And I'm coming around on it being interesting, the fact that you want it to walk. You used to not care about that at all, right? You just get it involved. But now you really do want it to walk. Which is fascinating. Mo is playing or not. He's playing tomorrow. The Evo is very low effort. Yeah, it's interesting, right? That was my first take on it too, was that the Evo was kind of a boring evolution. But I am now seeing more and more, we saw that from Kodigo, right? That playing it so that it walks does create I'll say this. The way you play Knight is changed more by the evolution than the way you play any other evolution. You don't play RG really much differently other than you try to play more RGs in the game. But you don't fundamentally play the RG more differently. You don't fundamentally play Firecracker differently. Barbs, maybe you play them at the bridge more. But I do think overall that while the Evo on face value is the most boring, or at least interesting, it does seem to be having the most impact on how you play the card, on making you play it differently, which may be supposed to be the point, right? Hit AK with your Golem Evo Knight deck, Rudy, come on, Magnus Carlsen lost. Everybody loses. It happens. Doesn't White win like 35% of games or something? Don't know. I don't know what this means. The syntax is confusing. At least Evo Skeletons had a unique evolution. Yeah, not as OP as Barbs. OP as Barbs. Yeah, but man, it's one of those things where yes, but I'm telling you, none of the other Evos make you play the card that differently. This one does, and that's at least compelling. The sound is interesting. The sound of that shield is certainly interesting. And again, just keep an eye on these knights. Only Loon today, says Boba. Yeah? Lots of Loon. It's fun to play. People are enjoying it. I'll say this. I think that like Loon is one of the more fun archetypes. There's a lot to do when you're playing Loon. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Higher. Running through Keef right now. Keef has nothing. Snowball gets rid of that. Snowball back, but the Musketeer is gone off into no man's land. That Musketeer's on a walkabout trying to find what makes her tick. Trying to get in touch with her spirit. Rather than play Clash Royale, GG well played. We're going to a game 3, folks. Look at that, the red crown already up. Interesting ability, talking about the knight there. Rich, what did I miss? Not much. Loon is the best. Loon is fun, perfectly balanced. What's perfectly balanced? Magnus rarely loses. How often does Magnus lose? Let's see. In 2021, I see him getting 2nd place, 3rd place, 3rd place, 3rd place, first, win, 3rd place, 12th place, first, win, 3rd, semifinalist. Right, so I see Magnus Carlsen losing a fair bit here. I see him getting 3rd place in Reykjavik last year. I see him getting 2nd place in the Chess.com Speed Chess Championship. I see him getting 3rd place in Chessable Masters 2023. Yeah. I mean, seems like he wins and loses at a pretty normal, like, I'm a top world chess pro rate. Yeah. I don't know, that's just his record for the last, like, since 2021. So it looks like he is a human being. I don't know. All right, final game, Miniminter versus Kisara of our first set. More gameplay. Yes, when the GG. I'm not in charge of the gameplay. You know this already. You're not new. You're not new. When the gameplay happens, you'll get it. That's what'll happen. I can't make gameplay happen if they're not playing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right. Beerus, I love you, Rich. Mwah, thank you, Beerus. A new variation of Loon Freeze would be nice. Sure. Evo Night Graveyard all day. Yeah, it's happening. I guess, but everyone expects him to do better. What do you... I just don't understand what you mean. Like, he's... It just happens. You lose sometimes. In October 2021, he went 185 games without losing. Sure. Against who? It's just like, I don't know, man. It's like when people see Mohamed Light lose a game and they're like, oh. And it's like, he has a 90% win rate. That also means 10% of them he loses. Evo Knight with bridge span. That's interesting. GJ, I only been to one stream. You've been here before, haven't you? Also, I'm not in charge of when gameplay happens. I just cast. Kisara on cams today. I didn't know they were doing cams. It's like the fly in my room. If you can leave, it's only to deal with, but if you leave it alone, it can cause trouble. What does that even mean? What's that relationship to? Okay, sorry, don't be mad at me. No, it's fine. It's fine. Just people are always like, where's the gameplay? And I'm like, I'm not in charge of that, bro. Ooh, that's a good question. Kaho saying, does Mini forget about Evo Knight, or is he playing Evo Mortar? I don't know if he has Evo Knight or if he forgot and just didn't put it in the slot. He probably forgot to put it in the slot, most likely. I'm going to go to Miniminter's account here for a second. Let's go look at Royale API, and let's go look up Mini, and let's look at his account. Which Miniminter is this? HG Miniminter. Okay, let's take a look. What is HG? Is that Higher Gaming? Now, did they pay for him to change his account name? That's crazy. Let's look at cards unlocked. He does not have Evo Knight unlocked. Aren't you playing competitive Clash Royale, bro? Fair enough. Oh yeah, it doesn't have pass. I see that now. Oh, that Magic Archer's gonna get some good value here. Kisara is pretty far behind, but it does feel like this is going to get harder and harder for Mini as time goes on. The Inferno Tower on paper looks real nice, but now you have all this raged upness and a Ram Rider right behind it, and you have no... I guess you can log this back. Oh, the Magic Archer knocking in the lineup there is real rough for Kisara. Finally gets it. And a good protection, man. You know, I did a video a while back with Jax, who's a great bridge spam player, on 5 tips to master P.E.K.K.A bridge spam. And one of the big ones he said was just love that Magic Archer. Just take care of him, protect him, keep him on the board. And that's true, I guess, for any deck that that has a major range troop, like Musketeer, for example, in your 2.6, or any sort of hog deck that runs Musketeer. Loon as well. But the fact that Magic Archer is also a secondary win condition. But this is looking good right now. Oh, the Ram Rider does connect. Big connection. 14 seconds left. Needs a Magic Archer connection and to not give, man, that's just it. Minor poison. Magic Archer trying to go for it. Control in the middle. Fireball down. Not going to happen. GG. Well played. Mini going to take the win over Kisara. Nicely done. Miniminter winning without Evo Knight. Set number 1 goes to Higher Gaming. Good for them. Next up is going to be Pedro versus Panda in our dual mode set. Yoda I am saying, I like the new art style, the different emotes. Yeah, it's from, what's the Clash Royale, like, cartoon thing they do? They used to do a lot more. They haven't done it in a long time. It's kind of interesting they called it back here. What is it called? Not Clash Royale Esports. Where's the official Clash Royale channel? Something, what is that called again? Clash-orama. Clash-orama. It's from Clash-orama. I actually don't even know if they just kind of took things that were already from there and reused them. But either way, it's kind of neat. Evo Knight making every dead card playable, says Nabil. That's a good point. Right? Is some of these Evos resurrecting some cards. So pro, so even need Evo. Yeah. Yeah, not needing no. Don't even need. Yeah, not even needing the Evo right now. Mini, getting it done. Very nicely done. Do I play ladder, Rich? Like, do you mean do I play ranked, or do you mean do I play the old school, like, now called Trophy Road? Which one do you mean? I don't really play Trophy Road because I don't really see the point to it. I guess I should probably finish the push to 9,000. Just haven't really had time for it. And then I play League. Oh, like in League of Legends? Is that what you mean? You talking about League of Legends, Sneaker? Because you said League here. I see this. I see that. Are you asking about League versus, instead of not Clash Royale? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Because I don't play League. Oh yeah, Evo Knights reviving Expo and Logbait. Yeah, Riley just did a big video on. No, I meant just leagues. Yeah, I play Path of Legends. And I usually play I play until I get Ultimate Champion, and then I usually stop. And I don't really play Trophy Road, but I should. But yeah, I play Path of Legends. I go and get Ultimate Champion, and then I usually, because I also usually don't get Ultimate Champion until later in the season. Because I experiment with decks too. Like I don't one trick. I can't play the same deck forever. I try to play something new every time. So yeah, like last season I was playing Drill Firecracker. Right now I'm experimenting with some bridge spam, experimenting with some graveyard. Planning to do a video on Splash Yard with the greatest Splash Yard player of all time, the God RF, and hopefully that video will help me be better at Splash Yard. Because oh boy, I used to actually be okay at it, and now I am trash. I was going up and winning matchups so hard and then throwing over and over again. And this goes to Gigi's question, do you rage when you play? Sometimes. For sure. For sure a little bit. Here we go. Dual mode. Higher Gaming has the current set advantage, so a win here from Pedro wins the match. Logbait Evo Knights are so OP. I might have to try, you know, I've never really been a Logbait player. I might have to try Logbait now that Evo Knights in the mix. Looking like Splash Yard from Panda. And maybe Hog from Pedro. Nope, just Minor. Might be going to Minor Lean again. I guess Hog would still use Firecracker. Aggressive early graveyard here from Panda. And I remember when I was on the set of CRL 2019 that, I can't remember which coach it was. Maybe it might have been Termisfa from Team Queso. Might have been Elky. But there was a coach who, talking about Splash Yard, he was like, just don't play Graveyard until triple. That thought process has certainly changed. People are more aggressive with Graveyards than they used to be. George Stevenson, it's nice to be able to experiment with decks when all your card levels are max level. Most of us only have a few max cards, if any. Well, I get Pass Royale. I mean, and like I was getting Pass Royale way before this big update. To me, $5 a month seemed like an appropriate thing to pay for a game that I work on professionally and that I really enjoy. But also, you could play Classic Challenges for 10 gems each and try out other decks in Classic Challenges, which would also help you level up cards if you are successful. People were asking yesterday about how I would maybe address some of these questions and of like progression. And one thing I would do is I would still allow you to progress by paying, but I would make it easier to progress in the game by success. Right? I would make it easier to progress by winning challenges, performing well. I would reward good gameplay. Hitchum on YouTube saying, this matchup is all about chip damage. You only make those big pushes like in beatdown matchups, so cycling a lot of GUIs is not bad in my opinion. Fair. Almost a smart Nada. Right, you see Panda there going, and this is, I think, what separates elite players from good players. Right, is that might totally work against an okay player. But Pedro was so prepared to not let that be a problem. 2182 to 1646. Graveyard can certainly switch this on a dime And Panda calling good game here. Panda having just no success trying to break through. In between the Knight doing a good job setting the line high against the Graveyard, the Archer Queen cleaning things up, and then the Inferno Tower, not to mention the poison. Just a really tough situation overall for Panda. Again, that big NATO attempt just... And now a missed King Tower activation. And Panda just waves the white flag. GG, well played. Game number 1 to Pedro. Higher Gaming now with match point. GG asking, what is your deck? I change my deck all the time. Let's see, what deck do I have currently selected at this exact moment? Let me see my current selection for this precise moment. Right now I have Splash Yard selected. So there you go. Right now I have Evo Knight Splash Yard as the deck that's currently selected. I'm messing with some bridge spam, messing with some Loon. I've been playing I'm having the most success playing the Remy Eli deck with Evo Knight, but I'm trying to play something else. Something, I guess that is a fun deck. I'm trying to play something else though. What's your account name? Hail Slayton. Like it is, I'll show you guys. I didn't realize it's not in frame right now. Let's go up. Let's go up. Boom. There I am. All right, let's go to gameplay. Mr. Bossman, I kind of like how to have a chance in this meta is locked behind a paywall. I would decrease the paywall if I were in charge. I wouldn't eliminate any paywall. I would decrease it. Because the game... Again, I've gone through this so many times. But the game is based on a... Oh, that reflection got there just in time. Bye-bye, Muskie. Oh, one less hit. It would be nice if everything were free at all times for everything, but the reality is that we live in a world where things cost money. So I would make these things like evolutions more accessible and reward successful, good gameplay. Right? Like make challenges where over the course of the month you could at least come very close to, if not completely unlock the Evo Knight, but I'd make it so that you wouldn't be able to unlock it immediately, right? People who get the Pass Royale would be able to unlock it immediately, and free-to-play players would have to spend have to be successful in all the different challenges over the course of the season to get it. So there's incentive to pay, but also good play is rewarded with having access to it. That's how I would do it. And again, maybe the schedule would be, it would take you 2 months to unlock an Evo or something. Here we go. Loon to the right, Mortars in cycle. Low mortar placement here from Pedro, trying to avoid nothing at the bridge to snipe it. Maybe just trying to get the King Tower involved. That's going to result in some death damage, though. Hog goes to the right. Mighty Miner halfway protecting, not quite. Man, Pedro's just all over this. Pedro's just all over this. Panda's expenditures. Panda just is making spell expenditures that seem like they don't make a lot of sense. Like, to me, I look at some of the times when he spends a spell and I'm like, what's the objective? What were you trying to accomplish with that specific spell? You spent those arrows, which meant that you had no elixir, which meant that Pedro could just mortar and then ruin your tower. Right? You spent the arrows to not kill the musketeer, and now you have three less elixir than you had before, and you can't control that mortar. Well, there you go. Higher Gaming gets it done. Smash City And Higher Gaming goes to 2-0 on the day. Of course, 40K got the free win over French SWAT earlier. Because French SWAT didn't show up, so Higher Gaming will now improve their record to 4-3, which will give them some breathing room here against Team Electro Dragon. Team Electro Dragon might get a free win tomorrow against Cold Bear. The question is, will Cold Bear Esports show up or not? Because they are eliminated already from playoff contention. So that'll be interesting. Higher Gaming also, with the win today, could potentially move over Shot CALALAS if CALALAS doesn't win their matchup tomorrow. So there you go. So there you go. GG. And I'll address this point. Clash Royale's making a lot of money, so I don't think they'll make it the game free-to-play accessible. This is maybe an unpopular thing that I'll say. The game is free-to-play accessible. It is entirely... I have an account that I enjoy playing on that is completely free-to-play. It depends on what your objective is, right? If your objective is to compete at the highest level, to push to the top of ranked, then it's not free-to-play friendly in that way. But I have two accounts. I have one account that is maxed out, that I primarily max just by getting past Royale every month back before the update. I still get it now, just because I want to have access to all the EVOs so that I can play with them and understand them better for casting. But are the games finished? Yes, they are. Games are finished. But the game is free-to-play accessible. It just also has an element where getting to a certain space isn't free-to-play accessible. So it depends. If you're a casual player who plays a few games a day or whatever, the game's totally free-to-play accessible. Just not the upper echelons, right? Which I'm not even giving a value to whether that's good or bad. If the game was built off of a customization, right? I forgot this word yesterday too. What's the word? If the game was built off of cosmetics, right, being the primary driver, then that might be more palatable. But it's not. That's not how that was built. It was built before that became popular. So it is what it is. Anyway, I enjoyed today. Hope you guys had a good time. Tomorrow we are back with the Week 4 rescheduled matches. Shot CALALAS versus MINCHIAM, and hopefully Electro Dragon versus Cold Bear. We'll see if Cold Bear Esports does show up. But that's what we're back with tomorrow, if you want to check out those matches. So I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. It's been a blast. Hey, Damien, how are you? It's been a blast, and we're back tomorrow with that. And then, of course, on Sunday, we are back here with the Clash Royale League group stage for the August qualifiers. The 6 out of 7, 6th qualifier. We're already there. That's crazy. All right, everybody, as always, be excellent to each other and party on, dude.